So this is the main problem on the bottom of the port, as you can see. Reason being is normally, see, as I said, I flush trim it. Okay, all this bits can be sanded, they're above. Okay, so all the rest of it needs a sand anyway. Just so there's, you know, little tiny bumps everywhere. But obviously you can't flush trim when there's nothing to be flush against. So I've got it now, pretty close. It's about 2mm or maybe 1/2, just a little bit higher than this grill. Yeah, so it's nice and smooth. And yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to like dig down here a little bit, and there's going to be a magnet mounted in there in each leg, and then obviously on this side of the grill there'll be one in, you know, corresponding magnet. So the magnet's sunk. It's not perfect, doesn't matter that it's not perfect. So it'll sit in there like that. Okay, and then rather than sinking the other one, I'm actually just going to put it, because they're not very thick, it's just going to sit. That just represents it sitting flush on this. Okay. And the gap is like, you know, 1/2 millimeter maybe, but once I paint it, it should bring it. It should be bloody close. Sanded with 80 grit, the whole thing. Good. So I'll mix up a bit of body filler, do all these bloody holes, mostly the screw ones, and that'll be it for today. I'll let it set. But I've done the whole box, so should come out pretty good. This stuff will set in an hour. Well, about 15 minutes of sanding, and I've done 3 holes. 4 actually. This shit takes a lot longer to sand, definitely, than the putty that I used to use before, which is like kind of a plaster putty. So there's a lot of work to be done. I'm sanding probably a few hours worth. Also got a new air gun. It's a metal one, like $9, but whatever. Yeah, I broke the plastic one. And I also got a filter, because if I'm going to be painting this thing, I want to filter any water that goes through it, because I was using this the other day and some water sprayed out of it. I could feel the moisture, so I got a moisture filter now. Got that all sanded and ready pretty much for paint. Yeah, I've rolled the port over. Not a big amount. That's where a screw was. I took the screws out for when I do it. I'll put the screws back in. And everybody, go and see Expendables 2. Okay? Sylvester Stallone, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Jean-Claude Van Damme, Dolph Lundgren. They deserve your money. And definitely going to resin this, all the 45s, or anything from about the height of the bracing down, you know, underneath, everything like that. Obviously the top of the box doesn't have to be that good. Just like, you know, I didn't put 45s at the top, up here. There's no point. Better be fucking worth it. Okay, so a litre of resin. Don't ask me why they look shiny on that spot, but it's all coated in one finish. I think it's just shiny because of where the hole is. So yeah, a whole litre of resin, pretty much, in there. And I've done the whole inside, except for this, like the top of this, and probably the top 2 inches all the way around, and I just, you know, I could be fucked. This part of the port's all done, inside the port. Now that was the worst part. I had it all up my right arm, the resin, and when it started drying, it was, I don't know whether it was just because it gets hot, I think, when it dries, or whether it was just actually just physically burning, like a reaction. Man, that hurt. Okay, so it's dry. Well, they can't tell. It is definitely really nice and smooth there. It's like, you know what I mean, compared to that, which it's kind of got a grippiness to it, but I mean, it definitely does feel really smooth. I pulled that one out of the container. Look how thin it is. It actually looks like the whole container. Whoop, almost dropped it. Turn the air compressor on, and within like a second, that's how much moisture came out of it. It's kind of got an oiliness to it. One coat down. Looking pretty good. On the back, I need to do the top there, but I don't need to do the rest of the back, so I don't even need to do the sides really, but whatever. Anyway, that's just one good coat all over. That's the grill, goes down the front, got it sprayed, primed, so everything should look pretty good. And that's how she looks after a sand with 800 grit sandpaper. Okay, really smooth. and yeah, looking like that. So there's one coat of black, and the new gun is awesome, man. I've hardly used it. As I said, I've used it for the primer, and I tested it once before, but it gets a pretty even finish. I know in a few angles the light looks different, but overall, for one coat, that came out pretty good. Hey, well that's 2 coats, and I'm telling you, it looks really good. I'm real happy with that finish, and that's all I can do actually, because I'm just about out of paint. I wouldn't have enough to do 3 coats, so whatever. So that's everything done with 2 coats. It looks nice and shiny, and the finish is pretty damn even. So all that's next is the clear, which I hate doing the clear. Okay, it's fine, it just looks a little weird with the light there, but the only thing I hate doing is the clear, because I often get a bad finish. Well, anyway, I did 3 coats of clear, 3.5 really, and same bullshit as always, it just dries like that. Now, I think I know what it is. When the gun's spraying, obviously your liquid's coming out of the gun. Now, on the bit where the liquid goes, it looks great, but as I'm, say, spraying here, and I'm getting the liquid on, it's looking really good, I can already see this turning into that. And it's the off spray, the little, like the air that's going like up and down, those little bits of air above and below where the paint is coming out. And it must have tiny little bits of clear in it, and it dries like that. So far I've wet sanded this side, and it looks pretty good, smooth. The top, which is actually kind of good, the top. It's got a nice shine to it. I've only done it to there. Can you tell the bit I haven't polished yet? I've wet sanded it all, the front, and that's what it looks like before I polish it. And then I haven't even done it yet, then I'm going to wax it. But it is getting actually quite a good finish. You know, you can actually see the motorbike in it. So that's pretty good. I've done the whole top. Okay, it came up okay. Yeah. I got in the car. The front's an okay finish. The top's probably the best. Came out the best, but I put the most clear on the top. So I've put all 3 magnets in, and then that one, right, that's the other magnet, and it's sticky backs facing this way. So now I'll get this, line it up perfectly, and just push it on. And now it's stuck on. Okay guys, well that's it for this video. There's the box in, subs in, and yeah, and that's it. It's resined, painted black, sanded, whatever. It'll do. It looks better than it did. Well that's it, I'm going to go have a listen to it, and you just can wait to the next video or 2. I'll do a sound test video with these speakers soon, distance test, whatever, and then I might do a bass, I'll do a bass video with the subs.